You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. Let's talk about Aaron. Aaron Rodgers, the Darkness Retreat is officially wrapped up. That's right. Aaron Rodgers has come out of the Darkness Retreat. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Are you going back to the Packers? Are you going to say, kiss my assers? Oh, let's do it. Oh, shit. Got a couple of different things here. We got Aaron Rodgers leaving the Oregon. It was in Oregon, we're finding out. Darkness Retreat. And the Packers are supposedly now wanting Aaron Rodgers to come back after the multiple reports from multiple people that said they don't want him. However, it should be noted, ESPN is trying to slip a young advertisement in on me. Go bleep yourself, ESPN. Okay, let's do it. Aaron Rodgers has emerged from his Darkness Retreat, according to the owner of the facility in Southern Oregon, where the Green Bay Packers quarterback spent the past several days and nights. Scott Berman, no relation to Chris Berman, went back, who owns Sky Cave Retreats, said Rodgers left the dark room and the facility Wednesday. Before entering the retreat, Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee Show on February 14th that he had scheduled 4 days and 4 nights in darkness isolation and was hoping, quote, to get a better sense of where I'm at in my life. Rodgers said he was not going to the retreat just to figure out whether he will play in 2023 or retire. Rodgers is under contract with the Packers for $59.465 million guaranteed if he plays in 2023. The 4-time MVP has played his entire 18-year NFL career for Green Bay. Packers president Mark Murphy said earlier this month that there is no deadline for Rodgers to make a decision, but he hoped for a resolution before the start of free agency. At least one team, the Jets, has inquired about trading for Rodgers, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Let's get to this, because supposedly now the Packers are having a little mind change. A lot of us thought that was possible. I still think he goes to the Jets, but I don't know. He comes out of there, he sees how hard they've been flirting with Derek Carr. Is that going to piss Aaron Rodgers off? I mean, you just don't know. I'm very interested to see how is he going to feel about multiple reports that the Packers don't want him there anymore. All right, one report, Brian Gutekunst told people around the league, we're ready to go to Jordan Love. Then another report said the same thing, but got awfully personal with Rodgers about being done with him because they were, quote, disgusted with him. Wow, I mean, really. Now, this report says the Packers might want him back, but they have a big stipulation, which is kind of interesting. I said that if I'm any team, if I'm the Packers, if I'm the Raiders, if I'm the Jets, you've got to be fully back. I mean, you've got to come back. You've got to be all in, involved with the offseason program, involved with your receivers in the offseason, all the things we see franchise quarterbacks do. Well, evidently, the Packers agree with me on that, okay? No one does offseason drama like Aaron Rodgers, and for the second straight year, no one seems to have any idea how things are going to play out with the Packers. By the way, everybody keeps bringing up contract. He's going to restructure that somehow. Wherever he goes, whether it's stay with the Packers or get traded, he has self-admitted he knows some restructuring, he said on the Pat McAfee Show, would have to happen. Last week, there was a report that the Packers were ready to move on from the star quarterback. But as it turns out, that might not actually be the case. During an interview on the Rich Eisen Show this week, Tom Pelissero of NFL Media made it sound like there's a good chance that Rodgers could end up back in Green Bay in 2023. But there would be one big condition attached to his return. He'd have to be all in. Quote, if he wants to return to Green Bay, and as long as he's fully bought in, the Packers want him back, Pelissero said. They had good conversations after the season. Pelissero's comments were echoed by ESPN's Jeff Darlington. Okay, now it's getting real. When Darlington's getting involved, it's getting real. Who was told by a source on Wednesday that the most likely scenario is that Rodgers would return to Green Bay. Interesting. Was that source Aaron Rodgers? Think about that a minute. It just dawned on me. Darlington was told by a source on Wednesday Rodgers left the darkness retreat on Wednesday. Quote, I had a conversation with a very important Green Bay Packers source who quite honestly believes that Aaron Rodgers will be back with the Packers and that all of this is being overhyped. Overhyped sounds like something Rodgers would say. And we got to remember, Darlington is the one that was communicating directly with Tom Brady before he went to the Buccaneers. Quote, he looks at the contract that Aaron Rodgers signed last year and the commitment that he gave to the team and believes that at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers will be back with the Packers. Those comments both contradict a report from last week from longtime Packers beat writer Bob McGinn, who said the Packers are ready to move on from Rodgers and that they're, quote, disgusted with their quarterback. They're done with Rodgers, McGinn said on a podcast, Go Long, Tyler Dunn. He's not coming back. I mean, they're disgusted with him, and they're done with him, and they're moving on. Interesting. McGinn said they've turned the page. They don't see Rodgers as a guy who's really working hard anymore. It's completely possible that the front office doesn't think he's working as hard as he should be. Pelissero noted the Packers want him to be, quote, fully bought in. If he's going to play, that likely means the team would like to see Rodgers attend OTAs and other spring workouts, which are all voluntary. Rodgers skipped out on the spring practices last year, which quickly became a storyline in Green Bay. Although there's plenty of trade speculation involving Rodgers this offseason, let's not forget that he said in late January he would love to finish his career with the Packers. I have a lot of love for what's going on in Green Bay. I'd love to finish here. I would. So now you got to wonder, if you're sitting back somewhere and you're the Jets, you're like, shit, we brought in Nathaniel Hackett for nothing? Wow. Looked like a lock he was leaving, didn't it? You know what? I had a lot of people pissed off over that Bob McGinn thing, and I was like, look, motherfuckers, I didn't report it. Bob McGinn did, all right? It's weird. The Packers fan base, this has kind of turned into like the Niners fan base. The Niners fan base is now feuding with each other over Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. What the fuck are you feuding over anybody over Trey Lance? Okay? Imagine this. I heard John Middlecoff say, point blank on his latest podcast he put out, that when the 49ers got Trey Lance into camp, they were like, oh shit, he's not nearly as athletic as we thought he was going to be. They thought he was going to be a dual threat quarterback and realized, oh shit, he's not. How about that? I just broke a little news there by way of John Middlecoff and him and Haberman going to training camps. But the point being, you got Packers fans that are like, Rodgers is coming back, you son of a bitch, and you don't know what you're talking about, or let that SOB walk, we're tired of his BS, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy. Fan bases are now split with each other. We see the same thing in, you're seeing the same thing in the entertainment world, by the way. The Star Wars fan base, oh shit, at full ass blown war over Disney Star Wars versus George Lucas Star Wars. That's neither here nor there, but you get the point. All right. It's interesting, but seeing Jeff Darlington involved in this, that tends to make me think Rodgers might be coming back. And when he said he talked to a very important source, I'm like, did you talk to Aaron? Is that who you talked to? Because it wouldn't shock me. You know, Aaron Rodgers made it very clear. Rappaport, Schefter is not part of the inner circle, okay, and would not know. But if Tom Brady's willing to let Jeff Darlington kind of creep in and break a bunch of news, and Darlington has self-admitted that, you know, he talked to Brady during all that 2020 free agency, that he was talking to him, yada, yada, yada. You know, he's talking to a lot of these players. A lot of these players like Jeff Darlington a lot themselves as players. And as a person, they like Jeff Darlington. So that's interesting right there. So what we've got, Rodgers is out. He's out of the darkness retreat. Now there's some fire around the fact that Rodgers might return. Okay? And that was always a possibility. It was. If you're the Jets, it explains why they went so hard on Derek Carr. I still think it's a bad fit because of the New York media. We're going to see. This is so interesting. Same thing happened last year. But a lot of people said, well, Rodgers is in full control here. He is, okay? But he self-admitted on the Pat McAfee show that he knew the contract was prohibited in being able to allow any team he goes to, whether it's stay Packers, go Raiders, go Jets, something would have to happen with the contract in order to do something. I have no idea why that started shaking. I must have had a dog under there doing some shit. Who knows? Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Aaron is out of the darkness. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.